We're live and we're drafting and we're talking about top 5 wide receivers. Let's go over to the board. We're gonna actually almost time out here. We're number 1. Don't worry. Number 1. 4 seconds left. Let's go Jamar Chase. This is a best ball mania. We'll do another draft probably after this one where I include you guys. I gotta jump on this one because I want to show process, and if we're all in there sniping each other, it doesn't make for a conducive learning environment. So we're here drafting live in a best ball mania while you're watching, while you're taking in the information, absorbing, having conversation, phone calls, phone lines will be open, phone calls will be had, and we're talking about top 5 wide receivers and where they not only rank within the running back mindset for your upcoming drafts. Are you taking Gibbs? Are you taking Bijan? Are you taking a wide receiver? Not only whether you decide to go wide receiver, when to decide to go wide receiver, what wide receivers are better than Barkley, Gibbs, Bijan, what wide receivers are you drafting? Why is Neighbors better or safer than JJ? Or is JJ McCarthy looking good enough right now that you're willing to say, never mind, JJ, Justin Jefferson, because of JJ McCarthy's solid progress that we're seeing right now, does it make you say, JJ's my number 2 over Lamb? Or is Lamb your number 2? We're breaking down everything wide receiver. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. Graveyard edition, midnight Eastern edition. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news
breaks. Appreciate you all being in the building. And we're going to discuss wide receiver in round 1, wide receiver in round 2. Maybe when you might forego wide receiver is definitely something we need to look at and talk about, because a lot of people have these set in stone strategies that they like to bring to the table. I like going hero RB. I like going 0 wide receiver. I like going wide receiver running back. It is all about best player available every single time, but let's put ourselves in position to make these decisions and try and make distinctions and try and potentially cook up some scenarios that make you feel comfortable having a more distinct conversation about when you deploy a kind of, general strategy. Like, for example, I'm very, very big on drafting CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, JJ, or Neighbors, really, and then going RB in best ball. But the reason I can say that with such confidence in a best ball format is because I've drafted in hundreds of them. So I know that I'm getting the value almost 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 in the second and third round for RBs, because the Kyren Williams ADP is into mid-round 3. So your safety net here at this one draft slot, which I'm drafting in here, I'm getting Kyren at the 2-3 turn almost guaranteed. And if I'm not, someone fell that shouldn't have fallen. I'm sometimes getting Bucky. Bucky's right here, so Bucky didn't fall in this particular case. This 12 or this one spot, which gets you that 24-25 turn pick, the back-to-backs coming up here, they make it fun to go Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and a Kyren or something like that. Achan's been falling too. The top available players, JT, Higgins, McBride, Josh Jacobs, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice has been climbing lately despite the rumors and, well, not rumors, the new news that he's going to have another additional lawsuit against him filed. And so you'd think that people would run away from him, but it's not going to cause any additional sting. Right now on the clock, gonna go with, man, I love Rashee Rice here, but this is too early for me. I'm gonna go Garrett Wilson, who I think is a fantastic player to grab at this turn. I'm not scared at all of it. I'm gonna go Kyren Williams. We'll go Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Kyren Williams. Very comfortable with that early wide receiver, or not early, the wide receiver, running back start. Love the way the RBs fall in the later rounds. Rashee Rice climbing. He's almost into the bottom of 2. The news today really did a number on his value. The news today, if you didn't know, we broke it earlier. Rashee Rice is at practice 100%, just like your boy broke it down for weeks. I even went on another show and talked about how Rashee Rice has an had an exterior knee injury, and people that don't know injury are talking about it like he's got an ACL recovery. It's a tough knee injury. It's not a tough knee injury. He had an exterior knee injury on the LCL. He didn't have a torn ACL or torn PCL where they had to drill into the middle of his knee, cut out of his patellar tendon a window of tendon and turn it into a ligament and let the graft sit for 5 months and heal into the bone. This was an LCL tear. And he's a steal. I love everything about Rashee Rice. And it's no crazy thing to see him at the top of 3. I just thought if you threw the damn, case, extra case added onto that, at least wash those 2 pieces of news. But he's been climbing. And, I'm tempted to run it back again and take him at the top of 3 if I get this pick again, let's say, and see what's up. See how I feel about a Rashee Rice round 3, top of round 3 draft selection built team. But back to the conversation at hand, wide receivers. If I'm just going to rank the wide receivers, and let's go back to the board and just check out how these we'll put them in order in which they were drafted here. So we have Jamar Chase as the top drafted wide receiver. JJ was 2nd. Lamb was 3rd. Puka was 4th. Nico was 5th. Neighbors. And then Amon-Ra BT. That's how the wide receivers went. Those are your top. BTJ. Drake London's not going around 1. AJ Brown's not going around 1. No one else is going around 1. So if we swing back over to the board, and let me move this slightly. These are the wide receivers in order of how they were drafted. Chase, JJ, Lamb, Puka, Nico, Neighbors, St. Brown, BTJ. A lot of times goes round 2. In this particular draft, BTJ did go in round number 2 at the turn. He went at the 13 pick. But these are your first round wide receivers in a best ball format. In a non-best ball format, you'll probably get maybe St. Brown. It'll probably like be that. You have St. Brown and BTJ outside of round number 1. But in best ball, you'll probably see this a lot where all these guys are going to go. My order and rank would be Chase 1, Lamb 2, JJ 3, Neighbors 4. And then honestly, it gets so cloudy for me. I could literally argue any one of these guys. We got to go back to the draft board because we're almost on the clock. On deck. This is going to be close. I don't know if we're going to get him. Fall to me. Timeout, I'm mixing. He fell. Okay. RJ Harvey. We're queuing Harvey. We got Burrow sitting there. We're going to go Burrow. We don't want to influence the Harvey value. Just looking at it real quick. DK Metcalf, George Pickens. Yeah, Harvey's the guy. So Chase, Garrett Wilson, Kyron Williams, Joe Burrow, cuff to Jamar, Harvey. Unbelievable.
Let him cook.
Filthy. Just a filthy draft. So, yeah, I love this team. Chase, Garrett Wilson, Kyron, Joe Burrow, Harvey. Love it. Okay, back to the board. So, 1 is Jamar Chase for me. 2 is Lamb. 3 is JJ. Neighbors is 4. Probably say in redraft, in which we're talking about right here, we're going to say 5 for Puka. Look, I'm going to go BT 6, St. Brown 7, Neighbors, or Nico 8. London, you got. So this is what I'm going to tell you. In best ball, 9 times out of 10, and I can only say this, I'm a best player available guy. You know that. Never cemented in a strategy, and always detour. What I'm about to tell you, detour from this plan if the players don't fall right. But in best ball, 9 times out of 10, you are better off going wide receiver, running back or wide receiver, and then just if you're getting an RB in rounds 2 or 3, just one RB, and then you get like Harvey, like I got, that's fine. But 9 times out of 10, having a wide receiver running back combination is probably the best way to go. A wide receiver, running back, or wide receiver, running back, wide receiver. Bucky. The keys to the second round, though, are Bucky, who went 15 here, Achane, who went 19, and Kyron, who went 25. Those are the key. And then Breece Hall and Chase Brown are very good safety net players that you can deploy as your RB1 if you go wide receiver, and then go Breece or Chase Brown in round 3. This is a very rough, plan of execution. You should always abort and go with a different plan if the players don't fall right. But I find that my best ball teams work so much better. I love them when I get Lamb, especially when I get Chase, JJ, Lamb, or Neighbors. And these are my top 4 wide receivers. If I get one of my top 4 wide receivers, I don't even love this plan as much with St. Brown, with Puka, with Nico, with BTJ. That's when I might want to go RB. That's when I want to go Genty potentially over these wide receivers here. But if I can get Chase, JJ, Lamb, or Neighbors 9 times out of 10 without even locking it in, I can just tell you through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drafts that I'm going to love my team. That's best ball. In non-best ball, if you're drafting with a bunch of grandmas, or even if you're just drafting in a league that's very skilled, but they go running back heavy, I'm traditionally going to wait on the wide receivers because I think you see Garrett Wilson go 24 to me right here. You see Rashee Rice, Marvin Harrison Jr., even a player like even potentially Ladd. These guys will all move down a little bit. You'll see most of them at the top of 3 and spread out throughout 3. It's so much easier to get wide receivers in a home league, a non-best ball league. So I tend to go running back early, and I tend to like my team a lot better if I do that. On deck, this is a tough spot to be in. I don't have a tight end yet. Laporte is staring me right in the face. Laporte, I'm going to cue you in case I time out. Judkins is really nice here as well. I don't mind that whatsoever. I'm going to go Laporta here. Now, I have 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a quarterback, a tight end, complete balance. I'm feeling really, really, really frisky and good about this bully quarterback situation. I continue to deploy it over and over and over because Mahomes costs you a 7th round pick. I don't care about using a 7th round pick on a quarterback I think can be not top 5, top 1 to 5. And I just can't stop. I own Mahomes in so many leagues. I'll tell you this. I believe, let me put his mug on screen while we talk about him because he deserves it. He deserves it. You deserve it. You deserve to know when you're watching a replay of this show who we're talking about anyway. But let me put my homie on screen. I'm gonna say this right now. Listen to me now. Bring it in. I believe that the Mahomes ADP and the Patrick Mahomes disrespect in fantasy football 2025 right now as we stand on June 4. I believe the Patrick Mahomes misplacement of ADP value in the 7th round on best ball ADP, maybe 6th round in non-best ball in your grandma league. I believe that Mahomes' ADP, in retrospect, at the end of 2025, we will look back and see Mahomes' ADP across the industry as the biggest blunder in fantasy football evaluation process. Looking back, Mahomes' 6th to 7th round ADP will be the biggest misstep the entire industry ends up taking, except for everybody that watches this channel, because you will cook. With Mahomes, you will cook. Trust in Mahomes. He's cooking.
Let him cook.
Love this bully approach. Okay, so right now, there's two things I want to do with this team. I've got Burrow and Jamar Chase. I could get Fields. If Fields already go, I could get Fields too. I could, or I could just say let's leave it be. We don't need to do a triple QB cross streaming situation. We don't have to. I'm very intrigued, even though I got Laporta already, to look at Kelsey with the Mahomes stack, Burrow with the Jamar Chase stack. I love doing the at least the double cross stream situation. And I'm looking at the pre-ranked list. I don't think Igbuka is going to make it to me. Really like Igbuka. It's getting a little thin. You know, Fields is there. And if I don't like what I'm seeing, I might go that route. I also could go with like an early Charbonnet. I love Charbonnet this year. I could go with the Cam Scatterboo. My wide receiver room is still very, very nice, but there's Igbuka. He just went at pick 89. I love the pick, love the player. Luther Burden's interesting as well as a wide receiver 3. Cooper Kupp, Jaden. See, it gets crazy. Like, you know, Jaden Higgins, I like him. Pittman, no thanks. Trey Harris, looking slow. He's okay. None of these guys are really worth the pick here. And I like guys there's Luther Burden. I would have maybe went Luther Burden. I like guys that are down like maybe 17, 18 overall spots more than I like the wide receivers here. So this is where I tend to go dark on wide receiver. And a lot of people say, Smitty, you need to start pounding the wide receiver drafting. It's not that I'm forgetting about it. It's not that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making a judgment call that Cooper Kupp, once Igbuka's gone, once Burden's gone, I'm making a call. And I got Kelsey queued. He's next. I'm making a call that I'm just going to pass on wide receiver until I get to the territory that I really like the position. Okay, so I got Laporta and Kelsey. I love that stack. I'm bully tight end, bully quarterback. Could go... It's a little early. I just don't know that he's going to make it down and back, and I really think he's a potential league winner in Zach Charbonnet. No matter what, he's going to get a little work. Love the running back stable. Going to go late wide receiver shopping, which I'm fine with. Love Kyle Williams. Love all those players down later. As much as I like any Pittman or Cooper Kupp or any player like that. So, not interested in going wide receiver now. I just don't see the value. I'll miss Charbonnet's. I thought about Fields just to get that Fields and Garrett Wilson stack, and have that triple cross stream going. That would have been nice. I really do like that. I think it's a really good strategy this year. But it comes at a cost. You lose the Charbonnet's. You lose, I would have lost Charbonnet if I went Fields. So that's okay. We're going to go ahead and move forward, onward, and upward. Maybe Fields even drops to the next pick. Who knows? All right, so looking at these teams, Jamar Chase is my team on the far left. Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Kyron Williams, Joe Burrow, R.J. Harvey, Sam Laporta, Patrick Mahomes, bully quarterback, Travis Kelce, Zach Charbonnet. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. One of my favorite teams I've drafted in Best Ball Mania so far. This is, yeah, Joshua loves this team. You're not wrong, Joshua. You're not wrong. J.J. McBride, Rashee Rice, Jordan Addison, Chuba Hubbard, Caleb Johnson. Not bad from the 2 slot. Let's go to the 3 slot. Barkley, T. Higgins, Josh Jacobs, Marion Hampton, Cortland Sutton, Chris Olave, Jerry Jeudy. It's not bad. A little too much wide receiver action going on. I'm never a big fan of just compiling wide receivers just because they're a position. I draft players. I don't draft positions. I draft players. Team 4, CeeDee Lamb, JT, Marv, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Trevion Henderson's a steal. I really wish Trevion or Debo, I like Laporta, it's not a bad pick, but Trevion Henderson and Debo, had they fallen to my 72 overall pick, they went just a couple of picks earlier, that would have been gold. Trey Henderson was a steal. I really like this team 4. JT, Trey Henderson, Lamb, MHJ, Devontae Smith, Hurts, really good team. This is easily the second best team. And you've got Kyler. This must be a show member because you're doing the double cross stream with me on this one. We're crossing streams. His name's the anchor too. He's crossing streams with Smitty. We're doing the same kind of deployment of quarterback, double quarterback, stacked cross stream action. And I love the team. Very good team. It's your team and my team are the best teams so far. Bijan, Ladd, McLaurin, JD5, DK, Debo. Good team. Team number 6, Gibbs, Achane, Tyreek, Jamo, Zay Flowers, Jaden Reed, Pearsall. Puka from the 7 slot, Bowers, Breece Hall, DJ Moore, Waddle, Connor. Yeah, Ayuk. Just some guys I don't like on that team. Ashton Genty from the 8 spot, AJ Brown, JSN, James Cook, Kittle, Alvin Kamara, Shakir. Nice. Better than Team 4 and Team 1? No. Nico, Drake London, Chase Brown, Lamar, Joe Mixon, Calvin Ridley. Yeah, Malik Neighbors from the 10. Bucky and Neighbors, I love that start. Okay, almost on the clock here. Let me scroll down just a touch. All right, there we go. So we're getting there. Dak is still there. Dak is a good pick here. Dak, Penix. I don't necessarily need the quarterback, but I just noting that I like those picks there. Okay, Benson, Trey Benson's there. Garendo's there. Love Garendo. Kyle Williams. I need a receiver. Love Kyle Williams. I'm going to take Kyle Williams. I love Jack Besh as well. Jack Besh would be fantastic. I'm going to cue him. Tight end, not going to go there. Benson's really nice here. Fields is gone, right? I'm going to take a stab at Benson. Yeah, that's good. Kyle Williams, I like that. I could have went double wide, but there's some other receivers I like a little bit downstream as much as these guys. So I'm gonna punt to one of the spots downstream for a wide receiver, grab Benson with the other one, just because I love the value of Charbonnet and Benson. I think they're going to be solid behind my RB, 2 RB starters, which are Kyron Williams and RJ Harvey. So Kyron, Harvey, Charbonnet, Benson, far left team. Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Kyle Williams, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Laporta, Kelsey. Very, very solid. Straight fire. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right, dial in. I know I got a late start tonight. Why is everyone sleeping on Bryce Young this year? No, Troy? I mean, where do you want him to go? You expect him to go ahead of, Mahomes and those guys. I think like in this territory, Dak Prescott is getting slept on more than Bryce Young's getting slept on. What are we talking about here? But yeah, Bryce Young's pretty decent, but I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy where he's going. Like if he goes in this 11 round, 12 round territory, it seems pretty par for the course, my boy. It looks like a lot of quarterbacks are going to get consumed in this little stretch of round 11 and 12. So I might have a lot of the non-quarterbacks stay exactly where they were on my pre-rank list. We out on Skywalker this year, says Brandon. I don't know if I'd say out, but it's harder to draft him this year. Love Tucker Kraft, Troy. Love Tucker Kraft. Garendo, sad to see him go. I'm kind of glad he went because I'd be tempted to go get, another Garendo, another running back. So maybe take all the RBs off my plate. I expect him to go better than Herbert, says Troy. I mean, look, Herbert's dialed back a ton. I don't think that's crazy at all. I don't know if my phone lines were open. Here, they're open now.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Yeah, I like Kraft a lot. Travis says he still wants to see Musgrave. I still want to see Musgrave get some work too. He was a specimen as a rookie, and he just didn't amount to much. We've got Tucker Kraft is still there. If I want to take him, I can. We've got Penix Jr. still on the board. You know what would be interesting? Kyle Pitts and Penix Jr. back to back here. I need wide receivers. I want a wide receiver, but at the same time, Hollywood's still there. I don't know if he'll make it all the way down. He's the highest ranked player on the board, so there's a chance Hollywood's not going to be there for me. But I'd be very tempted to take Hollywood. But I think Penix Jr. and Pitts would be interesting too. Just have another stack attack. Hopefully one of them goes so I can go another route. Wide receivers are getting a little thinned out. I like guys like Tillman, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Noel is there. Now, Pat Bryant I like a lot. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Smitty, but you know, I don't like your wide receiver depth that much. But there's guys like Yoshi Voss that I'm going to draft later. Jalen Royals will be there. A Tesla is going to be available. Jaden Blue. Hollywood just went. Kyle Williams is my 3, by the way. So there is a little bit of a desire to draft a running or a wide receiver here. I'd probably say, I'm going to go Michael Penix Jr. Do I go Kyle Pitts or do I go wide receiver? I just feel like, let me see something. I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm fine. I'm going wide receiver, cheap wide receiver shopping, and I love it. So what I really love about this strategy, again, is the kind of cross streaming you got here. You got this cross stack. Chase and Burrow. I've got Mahomes and Kelsey, and I've got Pitts and Penix Jr. And the reason I grabbed Penix Jr. as well, though, if anybody's wondering why I took another quarterback right there instead of waiting, is because I have both Burrow and Mahomes on a bye week 10. And so I kind of needed that. My wide receivers, by the way, are all different bye weeks. Bye week 10, 9, and 14. My running backs are a little bit of a problem because 3 of my 4 have bye week 8. So I have to be very mindful of bye week 8 running backs going forward. On the phone is... let's see here. 404, you're live.
Oh, is this me?
What's up, my boy? What can I do for you? What's your name and where you calling from?
Crazy? Oh, this is Clay.
Clay, what's up?
Is it crazy to take Amari Hampton over Travis Hunter in a dynasty league?
No, bro, it's not crazy. By the way, I have 3 super chats. No, it's not crazy at all. I mean, I would rather have Travis Hunter, but no, the whole world mostly probably. Well, I think they're coming around on Travis Hunter, but you know, I think if there was any positive news at all on Hampton, you'd Hampton fly above him. But right now, no, it's a very, very preference type of thing, bro.
You think Trevor Lawrence got it in him like that?
Well, he doesn't need to. Everybody, he could be top 10 quarterback though. He doesn't have to be top 5. Everybody keeps saying can Trevor Lawrence support that? Yeah, he can. I mean, 10. I always say about 10 to 11 receiving touchdowns, maybe 8 to 9, 8 to 10 for Hunter. If you think Hunter is going to be as good as I think he could be, and then he gets a couple on the ground, so he ends up with like 12 total touchdowns. But let's call it 10. And if BTJ is 13, 14. Talking about like a 24, 25, 26 touchdown total between those two guys, and Trevor Lawrence gets another 4, 5, 6 spread around, and ends up being like a 32, 33 touchdown guy. And he could be under four. He's capable of 4,000 yards. Trevor Lawrence is a guy that can throw the ball. It's just a matter of it hasn't been throwing it accurately, and there's been a lot of turmoil in that passing attack. And he's had new coaches and new regimes over and over and over. And in a way, it's kind of resilient of the man. I don't think there's a quarterback that's gone through change like Trevor Lawrence. He keeps going through change, over and over and over. It's another regime and another coach. It's crazy. So I think he totally could be a 4,000-yard passer, but he could even be slightly under and still support a 1,400-yard BTJ and a 1,100-yard Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a gamble of who slips. If BTJ can slip, then it's like, because that's kind of like what you're hoping for, though. You're hoping that BTJ is kind of like, I mean, yeah, he was insane, but also they had no one there. So it's like his production is like due to go down, right?
I don't know if I'd say necessarily down. Just it could be slightly.
Because if all the other numbers go up, then it should kind of average out. But if we're looking at like targets per game, or like, let's say like, I mean, the Jags last year like getting blown out a lot, right? They're just, I'm not saying this word for stat, but like they're kind of just chucking it downfield,
Yeah.
And they're giving them like crazy opportunities, right? The Jags are in the closer games, right? If they can actually be competitive this year,
Yeah. They'll still throw a lot.
Are you even going to thrive? Yeah.
Bro, I'm not worried about it. BTJ's
going
to ball. BTJ's going to ball. Hold on. Let me answer you. You're answering your own questions. You're asking and then you're answering. Like, I believe, he's like, you think he's going to ball? I think, okay, he's not going to ball. He's like moving on. I think BTJ's going to ball. I think if
Jags, Okay, well, I'm sorry.
You want me to answer, or do you want me to call you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want you to answer.
I think that BTJ is going to have a very similar season, but could he be dialed back from the number 4 wide receiver to the number 6 or 7, and it'd be like a 12-point deduction from last year, 14 points, 15 points. It's like a long touchdown play, that you could take away, and then it moves him down to 6 instead of 4. And then I think you got a guy like Travis Hunter who will still finish like around 12, 11, 14. Could he be 15? Sure. And the two of them combined I think BTJ, you are correct that BTJ was in a very optimal situation last year, but it doesn't mean that a better Trevor Lawrence and a better offense that lives near the red zone more, that lives at and around the goal line more, isn't going to still be better for BTJ. You know what I mean? Like, would you rather have a player in a really bad offense that chucks it down the field, but there's a lot of inaccuracies and a lot of punting? Or would you rather have a team that's like uber efficient and always near the goal line, always in the red zone? You know what I mean? So it'll be good. It'll be good. And they'll still struggle, bro.
I see kind of like, the thing about Travis Hunter is like, he's giving like kind of LeBron hype coming into the league. It's like he could either be like he could end up being like the greatest player of like the generation. That's kind of the reason why it's like, it could be stupid to pick Hampton there. Because like Travis Hunter, he could be that guy. Like, that's like one of the best players of all time.
Let me admit something to you, bro. And I told this to Travis. I told this to Travis tonight. I said that I haven't been so excited. When you draft a player in your dynasty league and it just makes your week, you're like, you're constantly thinking about that team, and there's just a couple players that really excite you. Damn, Yoshi Voss got taken. I should have just taken him instead of Pat Bryant. Damn it. That was the move I wanted. Yoshi Voss was kind of my secret weapon of this wide receiver room, because then it cuffed to Jamar Chase. It also, I think he's going to be very productive. I should have taken him. That was a mistake on my part.
The cuff is beautiful.
Hold on one second. Let me just. Oh God! If I take Dylan Sampson's week 8, week 9, I'm going to take Dylan Sampson here, and then I'm going to grab. I need another wide receiver. I kind of think Keenan Allen's going to be relatively valuable this year somewhere. I'm going to go Keenan Allen here. But what were you talking about? I blanked out.
I'm saying, like, Travis Hunter has the potential to be like one of the greatest football players of all time. and that's like the hype where it's like, if you take like he's like giving like he's kind of like when LeBron came into the league, where it's like he could be that like one of the best players of all time. So if you pass on him, it's like, wow. And I took like Chargers running back,
Yeah. So here's the way I look at it. I mean, oh yeah, I was telling you that I told Travis this tonight that I haven't been this excited
Yeah.
about a player on my dynasty team in a long time. It reminds me a lot of Reggie Bush. And when Reggie Bush came out, he disappointed in the end. But the hype and the upside and the unknowns and the ambiguity, and I don't think you should just translate that it didn't, and it still worked. He had some good years. I'm not saying Reggie Bush busted, but he didn't like reach the heights that he could have reached. And I feel like,
Yeah.
and I think Travis even said these words, he's ahead of his time in a way for the way that teams use players. And I think Travis Hunter was born in the perfect time frame to be used the way that I think in the coach, it couldn't have been set up more beautifully. Liam Cohen is the perfect coach and scheme artist to have Hunter on his roster. And these people that think he's playing DB, they're not paying attention. I don't even know what they're just
I'm not even worried about him.
they're just
playing
running
DB.
they're running their mouth about it. They don't
Exactly.
even know what the hell's going on when they start talking about him playing DB. He's not. He's going to play DB. He's going to play both sides of the ball. That's what his desire and wishes are. But he's a wide receiver first. They've already made this abundantly clear. And even if they did somehow,
How tired is he gonna get? How tired is he gonna get?
yeah.
Like how really? Like how tired?
All
Like,
right,
how tired
all right,
is
bro.
he?
Anything
Like,
else?
he's gonna be all right. No,
Anything else?
I was saying like he's not gonna get tired.
All right.
Good, man. You good?
All right. Appreciate you. Later.
Appreciate
I just had to get him off just so I could talk. I appreciate you. You can call back in. I'm not mad at you. Actually enjoyed that call, but I just had to, in order to get a word in, I had to get him off the phone line. Travis is on the phone live, but yeah, I think I think Travis Hunter is very much the Reggie Bush, and I just feel like I think it's going to work this time to the extent that I wanted Reggie Bush to work out. I think that we all thought Reggie Bush could reach these new limits to redefine the position. He was basically going to be the Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he was, Travis, you put it beautifully, a little bit ahead of his time. He was the Jahmyr Gibbs. And the NFL wasn't, ready for it. The position wasn't ready for it. The way the game, I don't know. I'm really excited about Travis Hunter, and I sit here and I know there's a lot of risk with the expectation level that we're bringing to the table. I'm admitting to you that I'm hyping him up a lot, and I know that there's a little bit of risk to that, but at the same time, I know the upside's there too. It's a gamble to have the expectation that I have, that a lot of us have. It's a gamble. Understand that. It could be one of the misses we have, but it also could be one of those things that everybody looks back on and they say, this reminds me of the Jahmyr Gibbs risk that looks beautiful now. It reminds me of the JD5 risk. Everyone's acting like JD5 wasn't a risk or that everybody felt the same way about him. BS. We were on top of that. No one else was. Hold on one second, Travis. Let me make this pick. Woody Marks is interesting here. I'll go estimate. I went estimate I was going to go Woody Marks, but I went estimate just to. So good team. I like this team. Let me hit these super chats real quick, Travis. I'm sorry. Superflex Dynasty, trade Caleb Williams, Garrett Wilson, and 26 first for JJ, or keep the depth and let Williams' value grow. I don't know if Caleb Williams' value will grow enough that it could. It should. I guess it could. Garrett Wilson, 26 first for JJ. Superflex. Man, I kind of feel like, Travis, what do you think on this Superflex? Caleb's got a lot more value in Superflex than a non-Superflex. But Garrett Wilson and a 26 first rounder with Caleb for JJ. Yeah, maybe you can get more for than JJ.
I think on paper he should get more.
Yeah.
I'd want to see who his QBs are, because if he's loaded at QB, I would probably say screw it and get JJ, but I'd have to know.
It does matter what you have for sure, but man, that is so tough, bro. I believe you can get more for Caleb in a super flex with Garrett Wilson and a 26 first rounder Would I do it if you took Garrett Wilson or the first rounder out? Absolutely. Would I do it if he threw something in that I liked? Yeah, it could depend on what it is. I don't know if a second rounder would necessarily do it or anything, but let me know what you're able to add to that or something, my boy, because that's a tough one. And then this one real quickly, and then Travis, I'll go to you and you can finish on that note or whatever else you want to talk about. May have missed it, but does J.K. Dobbins visiting Denver cause concern for Harvey? Happy to be back. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate the super chat. And then you said also been loving taking a stab at Noah Gray or Elijah Moore in the last round of my best ball drafts. I like Gray if you have Kelsey. I don't like drafting Gray if you don't have Kelsey necessarily because, you know, he's just a really good cuff. And I almost like drafting Kelsey and Gray when you have another competent tight end like Kelsey also on the roster. Like, let's say at least a Kyle Pitts, but even something better than that and Kelsey, and then Gray becomes a very good handcuff versus being your second tight end. I'd rather have more out of your second tight end and more potential. No, I don't want risk of 0 every week between Kelsey and Gray as your tight end 1 and 2. I want Kelsey if he's your 1 and Pitts is your 2, and then Gray's your 3, or a tight end similar to that. Even if it's Goddard or Likely. Isaiah Likely would be an interesting second tight end. And then you have Gray. I like that. And as for the other question, which was, what was the other question? Yeah.
Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins, that doesn't concern me. J.K. Dobbins is going to be fighting with Estime, not with Harvey. And while Dobbins is a pretty darn good running back still, even with the Achilles tear, again, there's never been, and I'm not saying this won't someday change with the medical advances, but I don't think J.K. Dobbins will be the guy to change it. J.K. Dobbins, no running back has ever been a top 10 running back or returned to top 10 running back form after tearing their Achilles tendon. Nobody, ever. And so J.K. Dobbins coming in as fighting for the third running back spot, if he even does make the team, it's going to be hard to imagine them drafting Harvey in round 2, loving the hell out of Harvey. The only scenario I could see this changing would be that Harvey's such a liability in pass protection that they put JK in and then he starts to steal work. Harvey fumbles the ball, which I don't think is going to happen. But like something like that could maybe open the door. But the other thing you got to remember is Sean Payton's already addressed this. He said that Harvey's playing all 3 downs. And so when someone comes in here and says something like, hey, Smitty, Harvey, they're ranked last in pass protection according to this metric and this metric. How do you feel about that? I don't care at all. 0% of me worries about Harvey's pass protection. Why? Because Sean Payton's already addressed it. Sean Payton has already said that Harvey will be on the field on 3rd down. And when someone asked him about his pass protection, he said, I don't have a problem. This is not necessarily word for word, but this is essentially what he had to say about the topic. And we're talking about Harvey, so let me put him on screen. Is that they're going to put, he said, basically back in the day when they had Darren Sproles, he didn't want Darren Sproles lining up against linebackers all the time. He said occasionally you'll do it. I don't like to make it a habit out of it, but you line up a guy like Sproles against a big bruiser, and he says it's not ideal, but it happens. But he tries, he's such a creative play caller in schemer that he will have, he even said this about Harvey, that he will have plays set up in ways to get him involved in maybe catching the ball, running a route downfield, being in a certain position where he can be of support, but not necessarily need to take on a linebacker, but it's not going to take him off the field. He's going to be in such designed plays on 3rd down that it's not a problem. And so he knows how to do, and he also made this comment saying that he doesn't think that you should be concerned about Harvey's size. He's short, but he's thick. And he's got Saquon Barkley thighs. He's a bruiser. And I'm telling you this right now, just based on my gut instinct and eye test, he will be somebody that will be a good pass protector. He may not have been in college, didn't have the right coaching for it, wasn't in the right situations, it wasn't matched up properly against the right personnel. But Sean Payton understands that. And I promise you, the aggression and power and strength that this guy has, he will learn it from Sean Payton. even if he didn't, Sean Payton has already said that Harvey will be on the field on third down. He will make sure he's in a position that doesn't hamper the team. If anybody's worried about that. And that means he's going to get the ball. You know, think about Darren Sproles. Think about Alvin Kamara. Think about other running backs that Sean Payton's had in there on third down that might not have been the best pass blocking running back in the league. And they were heavily involved on third down. So on third down, he's probably going to get the ball like 50, 60% of the time anyway. So anyway, great questions, Jesse. Thank you for the double. If BBQ's in the building, appreciate BBQ. Let me go to Travis. Travis, you're live, and then to Ron Navy.
Yeah, so with Hunter and BTJ, I might have said it before. Excuse me. I think I might be like a little lower on total numbers, but I agree with you that they can both be great in the same lineup. I think the way I look at it is like for this year, I'd predict something like BTJ in like a 5 to 10 range, where I'd probably have Hunter more in that like 12 to 20 range, only because it's tough to get double-digit touchdowns. I know I probably say that a lot, but so I think the yardage, I think the catches will be there. I just wonder how many touchdowns Hunter can get this year, 7 or 8. So I could see that. So
well, I think he could get 7 or 8 receiving. Mine's more like 8 or 9, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there receiving, and then he's going to get 2 or so rushing the ball. And those might be catches, but they're going to be behind the quarterback in a way that, like a screen or a play that's designed a little bit Debo-esque, wide back-esque. And people need to remember that Travis Hunter playing wide back, the first thing that somebody that doesn't know a lot about football is going to probably say when you say wide back is he'll get hurt playing wide back, Smitty. And because they think of Debo Samuel, the year that Debo Samuel's wide back position was made known to the world, he also then played full-time running back. And for some reason, people have it through their thick skull that when he was RB, he was still playing wide back. I mean, he did wide back stuff sometimes, but there was a time where the Niners' entire running back room was completely injured. And so guess who played RB? Debo Samuel. Full-time RB for a grip of games. And so people think that wide back means you're playing behind the line of scrimmage or playing behind the quarterback, taking a halfback plunge up the gut. You're not doing that. You're catching the ball as a wide receiver in the backfield or in behind the quarterback, essentially. Jimmy Garoppolo basically just saying, "Hey, please take the ball. Nobody can get it because you're lined up behind me, so I know I can get it to you in time. Here, take it, Debo." And Debo just does what he does with it, and that's wide back. And he's going up against defensive backs. It's not like he's taking a carry up the gut, getting hit by 300-pound linemen, then a linebacker smashing him into the ground. This is a wide receiver getting the ball and then turning into a running back at the line of scrimmage out wide back. It's playing running back at the wide receiver position at the line of scrimmage, essentially. So I believe you're going to get a lot of end arounds, jet sweeps. Hunter is going to do a lot of cross routes near the end zone where they just Trevor Lawrence flicks it to him, does a little Mahomes, flicks it to him, and Travis Hunter's electric playmaking ability, he's going to literally run into the end zone. I just think there's going to be a lot of plays like that where when they're at and around the goal line, Travis Hunter's going to be on the field and everyone's going to be like, it's going to Travis Hunter. I just think he's going to have 2 or 3 carries for touchdowns. He's going to have a bunch of in-between receptions / rushes where we're all on pins and needles as to how it gets categorized. Was that a rushing touchdown or a receiving touchdown? We won't even know. Like, this guy's going to be all over the field. I hear what you're saying about maybe receiving touchdowns being 6, 7, 8, but I don't know. You know, if he's...
I'm not saying he can't do it either. That's not me doubting. I mean, it's just me. I just, giving my take on.
If he's a yak yardage
I'm probably a little bit lower than you. But.
If he's a yak yardage king, though, which I think he could be in this league,
Not a big kick.
then it's good.
Story,
Yeah, I think he can create a lot more touchdown opportunities. Like maybe he has 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns, and people are going to be just shocked at how Cohen uses them. I mean, just because he wasn't getting carries at the college level does not mean that Liam Cohen won't use him as a wide back. You know, like I want people to understand he has the capability of being a wide receiver running back out wide. Like that is a totally different ball game. And I think Liam Cohen is going to get him all over there. Like this, and even if let's say our worst nightmare happened, where these chatty Charlies, you know, that have been saying like, I just worry about whether he's going to play DB too much. Even if let's say things flipped a little bit, and they're like, you know what, we are going to play him maybe more like 65% receiver instead of 80, 85, 90, whatever. We're going to dial back down to 65. Like I said from the beginning of the offseason, way before the NFL draft, when we were scooping up Travis Hunter shares in the 9th and 10th round, taking candy from babies left and right. What a string of drafts we did. Just constant scooping up 9th and 10th round Travis Hunter. We're going to have a lot of people in contention to win some of these contests where we scooped up Hunter on this channel over and over and over and over and over as a collective. But anyway, even if they came back with a worst case scenario and said 65%, we were wrong, he's so good at DB, and we're just worried about this, he's going to go on the field to get the ball. You know, you're not going to put Travis Hunter on the field 65% of the time. In the rare occurrences, not rare, but halftime occurrence that he goes on the field, you're just going to make him run a go route and not go to him. Get him tired and then send him back on defense. He will be specifically designed to get the football. So on a majority. So he's gonna get 4 to 6 receptions even at 65%. So it's
and like you said, I'll say real quick and I'll let you go to Ron. Like you said, I think it's probably the opposite, where he's on the field all the time on offense, and they put him in situationally on defense, whether it's 2-minute drills, end of the game, end of the half. If they're just getting blown away by a guy, they need him on the field. And Liam Cohen even said it 10 days ago. He said, we have a plan of playing primarily on offense, learning the defensive system and practicing on the defensive side of the ball as well throughout the offseason program. So they're already thinking, we want him on offense. We're going to work him in on defense.
I mean, think about it. Like, he's going to pick off a pass because they're going to be like, he's going to go in and situationally. 3rd down, we need the ball back, Travis Hunter. Go get it. And that's what he's going to be doing. He's not going to be playing every down. He's going to be playing situational, important 3rd down, important 2nd down, important situational football on defense. But imagine, I mean, you can see it now. He's going to pick off a pass and then stay on the field and score a touchdown. You know it's going to happen at least one time in 2025, and it's going to be the story of the week, and just an unbelievable player. And people laugh at that he might be one of the most athletic players to ever play the game at some point. We might be looking at that. And again, there's risk involved in that expectation. Reggie Bush is an example of that risk that didn't play out to fruition, or didn't fully meet expectation. But again, that was a different time. I think this is the perfect time for an athletic player like Travis Hunter that's going to redefine the position and redefine the positions, redefine how a player plays. And anybody that comes in and says, you can't play. I love it when some chatty Charlie comes in and says something just ridiculously embarrassing. It makes his mom embarrassed. My mom's embarrassed for his mom when he says this. But chatty Charlie comes in and says something like, yeah, you can't play both sides of the ball. You'll get tired or get hurt in the league. I'm out of here. Thank you. I just want to leave. Like it's some novel, statement that hasn't been exhausted over and over and Monday morning quarterbacked, and people acting like they have any say or any relevance to the discussion or any experience to the discussion. Even former players that played a shitty job of both sides of the football will come out and say negative things to Travis Hunter's situation. Why? Why do you think that is? Jealousy? Why do you think that is? Because they didn't attempt to do more. They didn't decide to wear more pieces of flair. They decided to do the bare minimum. They were good enough to play both sides of the ball, but they decided not to. Like, Travis Hunter's trained for this. Travis Hunter did this. Travis Hunter walks in with a special set of skills.
Can I talk now?
Just like, no, Gump. Just like somebody that has calluses on their hands that can pick up heavy weight. It doesn't bother their hand at all. They're trained for it. Just like a wide receiver convert to a running back can't just go out, and this happened to Antonio Gibson, the running back for the Washington Commanders, then the Redskins. He came into the league without any running back or really any wide receiver experience at all. You look at the amount of carries he had. Travis, do you remember what the number was? It was like 30 carries and like 30 receptions or something. It was something wild like that, Antonio Gibson. And let me tell you something. I will never be fooled by that sorcery again. And I thought I'd let it go because no one really knew what his rookie season was going to bring, but he had such a good rookie year, Antonio Gibson, that we're like, this is different, right? This is different. He's true, and he's tested his rookie year. He held up. But if you've got no experience to hold up at the RB position, you can't play it. You're not trained for it. Your body will not hold up on a 250 carry season as a running back in the NFL if you don't come in with the resume and proof of capability. You just can't. And Travis,
38 catches and 33 rushing attempts.
That's crazy. This is supposed to be a full-time running back. 30 and 30. That's the most he had in college. And he comes in, he's supposed to hold up. He's not going to hold up. And Travis Hunter, like the reverse of what I'm talking about, is trained to do this. No other player could just jump into it. And even if somebody was playing kind of both sides at times and they wanted to play both sides, they would fail. But he's done it. He knows how to do it full time. He has the calluses to get through it. Let me go over to Ron Navy and then over to Gump. Go ahead, Ron.
And Gibson also had a lot of fumble problems.
Because he didn't have experience. Yeah, I mean, exactly. He didn't know how to hold.
Right. He was always turning the ball over.
Because he carried the ball 30 times in college. He only had 30 experiences to hold onto the ball going up the gut.
Yeah.
He had 30 experiences.
What's going on, Travis?
How is he going to hold on to it? Go ahead. Go ahead, Ron.
You got that bathroom echo thing going on again tonight.
Oh, you always say that. I'm in a bedroom right now.
Well, no, I call it the bathroom echo because that's the echo that it sounds like when, from the bathroom you get that echo.
Yeah,
I know you're probably not in the bathroom, but that's
good conversation, Ron. Did you have anything football related?
Well, the green lights aren't on, so yeah, I did. We forget when oh geez, the receiver that's now in Tennessee,
Ridley.
Yeah, Ridley. I don't know why this the brain farted his name, but yeah, Ridley. Look, this is all part of his success is going to be T-Law and what T-Law does. Because how many times was Ridley open? How many touchdowns should Ridley have had that year? And T-Law could not get him the ball, overthrew him, just terrible passes to him. I mean, that's what we really got to be concerned about. Yeah, we've got to be concerned about that a little bit with Hunter, because Hunter can only do so much. Hunter can't throw the ball to himself. So really comes down to is Cohen going to be able to develop T-Law enough to be able to, so they don't repeat that Ridley incident? Because Ridley wasn't bad. It was just he had all those opportunities and T-Law couldn't get him the ball right.
Yeah, but Ron, we got to keep in mind, again, and you're right, that is certainly a concern. But my counterpoint would be, or rebuttal would be, that T-Law has had how many new head coaches, how many new offenses. Poor guy hasn't had anybody that's really put him in a position to succeed. And Liam Cohen has the experience to fix a quarterback that has been through what T-Law's been through. So we finally have the right pieces in place. And you're right, if T-Law can't be fixed with Liam Cohen, he can't be fixed ever. because this guy did it with Baker. Baker was on team after team after team. So you have this experience that Liam Cohen has. You have the offense that's so electric that it makes the quarterback look better. I'm not saying Baker doesn't deserve the accolades that Baker's earned. I'm a big Baker fan now. And I was a huge Baker fan before when he was a rookie. He failed me. I missed on my prediction. And then instead of, believing in him, I doubt him. And then he bounces back. So I've been wrong twice on Baker. When I was right on, I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. So it sucks to be double wrong on Baker. It's crazy. But it's and when you loved him, you just loved him at the wrong times. But I think Baker's a perfect example as to why this is going to work, and we have the history behind it. We know what Liam Cohen can do, and Baker turned Baker into a 40 touchdown quarterback. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence has 40 TDs this year, but Trevor Lawrence could have 4,000 yards and 33 touchdowns or 31 touchdowns, and that's plenty to give these guys a 1,200 and 1,400 yards seasons and 10 touchdowns and 13 touchdowns or 11 touchdowns and 14 touchdowns. That's plenty.
And if you think about it,
yeah, he could be. And here's the other thing is that's why I brought it up, because people need to realize the fact that Hunter has all this talent and everything. And how many times have we seen
get into a puppy Superflex
go to a team where it's not their fault, but
puppy Superflex, jump in.
If T-Law doesn't perform right, then Hunter could possibly not do as well as we thought. And then you're going to have all the negative Nancy's coming in saying, Smitty, you said, Hunter was going to be great and Hunter was going to do this. And it might not even be Hunter's fault because he has all the talent, just like Bijan was misused by our offensive coordinator.
That sucked. Right? That sucked. The Bijan running back one. Remember the all he does is score touchdowns, and then he wasn't a touchdown scorer. It was painful. That was painful, but we knew
so
it wasn't our fault really, and you couldn't really see it coming. I know people said that's what Arthur Smith does. It wasn't though. Arthur Smith turned Algier into a very good running back, and so it was very, in my opinion at the time, and I don't regret the opinions I had at the time, walking out of the Algier rookie year where he was a phenomenal running back, it looked very evident that he was going to lean on Bijan. They drafted him 9 overall. There's no way this organization is going to let him misuse Bijan. There weren't a lot of red flags going into that year. But yeah, we all hate Arthur Smith now. We all know what Arthur Smith is up to now. But just real quickly back to T-Law. I get what your concern would be. I think that we're not going to see Travis Hunter running those Ridley routes anyway. And not to mention Liam Cohen doesn't do that. What was going on with the offense back when Ridley was being wasted away in Jacksonville is they'd have him run these go routes, and Kirkwood and Ingram would just cross across the middle and get all this gravy work while Ridley was just running these low percentage go routes. He would get almost 2 touchdowns every single week. And he'd end up with 0 catches a lot of the weeks.
Yeah.
Would be like he'd almost have 2 touchdowns and 80 yards, and we'd always have to say almost because they'd be like tipped and be slightly out of place. I'm not worried about. Hold on, I'm already on the clock. Jeez,
we said that about ETN too. He almost should have had 2 or 3 touchdowns in the game, and he ended up with none.
Yeah, on the clock already. Oh, I gotta switch it over. Okay, I picked Mahomes.
Yeah, but the only reason I'm just bringing it up so people know that if something more that would go down, it's not because Travis Hunter doesn't have the talent, generational talent that we say he has, or we can see it. But just like with the Bijan situation, it might not be his fault if he doesn't shine like we expect him to.
Yeah, but that goes with anything. I'm not worried about that. I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you. But we got to take our L's. If we're gonna say he's gonna be,
we do, but
I'm not gonna sit here and try.
I think another thing.
Hold on. Let Travis. Travis has been trying to say something for a while. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
I think another thing too. No, you're good, Ron. I think another thing too is you got to think about Liam Cohen's coming into this situation. We saw what he did in Tampa, and they aggressively went to get Hunter. So and moved up and traded a lot to get Hunter. So
aggressively,
they have a plan for him, and I don't see them making him like a deep route guy or misusing him. You know, I mean, Liam Cohen, he's one of these guys who seems to know how to put guys in a place to succeed. I mean, we'll find out with T-Law this year in terms of quarterbacks, but the fact that they went up to 2 to grab him like that.
There again, Travis, is you had this situation, is you got this coach coming in, he did great things on a team, he goes to another team, and he's head coach, and that's the same thing with Arthur Smith. He did a great job in Tennessee, right? Remember that? And then that's what got him the head job in Atlanta. And he goes to Atlanta, and
Tennessee. He put the ball in Derrick Henry's hand 400 times a year.
All right, hey, hold on a second. Traded Ayuk for Golden, Milroe in a third, and Dynasty. I can't stand Ayuk. Ayuk is trash. The Ayuk wants a new contract, maybe already. That's what a lot of people are saying. I'm not saying it's true, but that's what everyone's peddling around right now in San Francisco. That Ayuk is making his stink. Kind of maybe unhappy with the contract he signed, and I don't know. He's upset about something else. He's talking about people hating on him. He's really upset right now. Ayuk's a mess, bro. An absolute mess. He's not even the number 2 wide receiver in San Francisco. When he comes back, when he's even ready in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever the hell it is, he's the wide receiver 3, not even the third option. Give me this this Golden side. But then I try and flip Golden because I'm not the biggest Golden, supporter. But I would try and give up a future pick and give up a future pick and then get Travis Hunter. That's what I'd do. Real quickly, hold on, boys, before we get back into the argue mode. I think Gump wants to say something. Gump, let me make this pick real quick, and then you tell me what you like here, Gump. We're in a super flex. I've got Mahomes and CeeDee Lamb already. Herbert's there. Love is there. Don't you dare say Goff. Don't like any of these quarterbacks, to be honest with you. Bucky sitting there. I'm on deck. I think Bucky might be the call. We don't have an RB yet. I'm thinking Bucky's the pick. Bucky?
Bucky.
Look at that. So, again, and look, Penix is there. We could go. I took Bucky.
No.
We could go light. We could go light.
No, go Bucky.
Cute.
Bucky.
Gump, I already took him. We're talking about the next pick. Do I go McBride here and take, so I'll have Pat Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, Bucky, and McBride, or do I force Penix Jr. early here?
No, take McBride. You got to take McBride.
Travis?
I didn't hear you, sorry.
Oh, okay.
McBride or Penix?
If my life was
I go with McBride.
If my life was on the line and I need a quick answer from Travis within 5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I failed you on that one.
Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, Bucky, Trey McBride, most balanced Superflex team that scares you at running at quarterback 2 that you'll find. But I like that. Sorry, Gump, I didn't let you make that second pick, but all right, go ahead, Gump.
Forget that this is Superflex.
Thanks, Ron. Let me go. Then why, if you forgot it was Superflex, why would you even consider Penix Jr. and McBride in the same conversation?
Well, that's why I said McBride, because I was like, why would you pick Penix this early?
Don't ask Ron for advice if your life's on the line either. Gump, you're live. I think I made the right pick anyway. The chat likes McBride. Go ahead, Gump. You're live.
Yeah.
All right. I need you to give me a break over here. I want to be Skip Bayless today. I want to be Skip.
Okay, go ahead, Gump Bayless.
Give me a chance to be Skip.
Go ahead, Gump Bayless. You're live.
All right, Gump Bayless is right going on. I'm going to tell you something. This is just the facts. Jamison Williams is far better than Travis Hunter. And the Lions, they got a Rookie of the Year and Tate Ratledge. And I sent you something over on your Instagram. I sent you a video. Tate is the man.
I didn't check it.
He looks like freaking. All right, and you just Jameson's going to probably climb way up. you need to grab him wherever you can.
I think Goff turns into not a pumpkin, but a jack-o'-lantern. I think.
Are you kidding me? Listen, that Ratledge is going to replace Frank the Tank. I sent you something over.
We got 1X already, Gump. No one's liking this take, bro.
Well, it doesn't matter what they don't like. They better freaking swallow the great big old pill. The Lions going to the Super Bowl. And freaking Tank.
I gave you the X. How the hell, Gump? How the hell do you think Jameson better than hey, Gump? How do you think Jameson is better than Travis Hunter? How?
Listen.
How? That's a homer pick. You're being a homer. You're picking Jameson over Travis Hunter. You're a homer. You're a homer.
No, that's not the way.
You're being that's a homer pick. Jameson Williams is not better than no way. No way. No way! You need to face the facts.
But my doggone,
you're making homer picks.
Dog died.
You're making homer picks.
What are you talking
Stop
about?
making homer picks.
I'm telling you the truth.
That's a homer pick.
No,
you're Detroit Lions fan, and you're making a homer pick.
Did he just say my dog died?
Look at what the Lions are
Wait,
doing.
Gump. Repeat what you said. When your dog died, what?
Yeah, when your dog died, what?
Is that what you said? What did you say?
Yeah.
No, he said doggone.
Oh, doggone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
doggone. Yeah.
I got you. Well, Gump, I'll say this though. I don't think Jameson Williams can be as good as Travis Hunter, but
oh my gosh!
Are you gonna let me finish, Gump? I think Travis Hunter. First of all, J-Mo's good. J-Mo's good, but he's the number 2 wide receiver on a team where he might listen to what I'm saying, Gump. This is very important for you. He's the number 2 wide receiver on an offense that just lost Ben Johnson. And I know you don't like Ben Johnson, but Goff has never been great without Ben Johnson. He has been great with Ben Johnson. He's never been great without Ben Johnson. Secondly, even if J-Mo is the number 2 wide receiver, which he is, doesn't mean he's the second option. Doesn't even mean he's got the third. He's the third option. He's sharing that with Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is easily an equivalent to J-Mo in terms of target share. I'm sorry. And Laporta might be more important.
They are peas and carrots.
You got Goff is going to go down. Goff was not a great quarterback. He was a good, decent, mediocre quarterback. Sometimes good, other times.
Oh my God.
And then, what do you mean? Oh my God! Everybody knows he got traded out of LA for that simple reason.
Oh come on!
What? What do you think they got rid of him for?
I need you on board, Smitty. I need you on because when my fantasy team comes up in August,
no, I'm not. Look, this is not a charity.
I got one game, one shot. I need you on top of your game.
No.
Let's go to Kruger. Let's go to Kruger and ask Kruger who's going to be better, Jameson Williams or your boy Travis Hunter. Let's go to Kruger right now. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Go to Kruger.
Okay.
Right now.
We'll ask him. We're gonna ask Kruger who outscores who, Jameson Williams or Travis Hunter on the year at week 17's end in fantasy football points. That's what we're gonna ask Kruger.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And then if he says Hunter, then what are you gonna do? Then you're gonna complain?
Listen, I'm not over here.
He's gonna start yelling at Kruger.
Listen, I'm
Okay.
not doing mushrooms over here.
Kruger.
I drink lemonade.
Kruger, who's going to have a better season? Travis Hunter, the rookie wide receiver for the Jaguars, or Jameson Williams, the wide receiver for the Detroit Lions?
Hey, Smitty. Between Travis Hunter and Jameson Williams, it's a close call, but I'd lean towards Travis Hunter. He's got that incredible two-way talent.
Oh, yeah.
You freaking dirty dog.
Finish him. Call terminated.
With the Lions offense.
There, you're out of there, Gump. You're out of there. You put it all on the line. You risked it all. He was risking it all, and he didn't get it. All right, let me draft it real. Let me draft real quickly. Dang, I'm almost gonna time out. Jeez. Who am I going with here? Oh my God, I'm going to time out. I just took DK because I was going to time out. I got no second quarterback though. Do I go Aaron Rodgers and just? I hate that. But do I go Aaron Rodgers and then grab maybe Milroe next? I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to fall. His ADP is 103. My next pick, I don't think he's not making it back. 103. The players I'm sacrificing though: Judkins, Laporta, Debo. Damn it.
Superflex though, right?
Yeah, I gotta go Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I can't keep
Joe Flacco, he's going to be starting for Cleveland.
Can't keep postponing it. So we'll go Aaron Rodgers. Not loving it, but I love the rest of the team. I mean, it is a fun gamble to take. It's not the smartest gamble. We'll take Shador later, don't worry. Mahomes, CD, Bucky, Trey McBride, Hampton, Harvey, DK Metcalf. I wish I would have taken Debo there instead of DK. I didn't see him there, but I'm okay with DK. That's not bad.
I would, if I was listening, I would have said
Flacco, and then pick up Shador because you can go through. You got room for that combo.
Yeah, it's a stacked team for sure. You know, it's kind of a fun gamble to take on Aaron Rodgers, I guess. With that build, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, boys, on the topic of Hunter? And do you guys agree that this is not going to be a Jamar Chase and Higgins situation with BT being their chase? I think it's going to be more of they're both kind of like Londons. They're both Drake Londons. I don't think you can have Jamar Chase with Hunter on the roster because they'll water each other down a little bit. But I think you could have two Londons or two St. Browns, essentially. I think that's what this is going to be. And I think that they could rotate being better than the other from year to year. I know a lot of people aren't going to like that take. They're going to feel like that can't happen. That there's no way BTJ's too good. And that's not a knock on BTJ. It's just saying that's how good Travis Hunter is. A lot of people aren't going to like that take. They're going to disagree with it because they don't like what hasn't happened yet. They don't like the unknown of that.
So in terms of like ranking, like, are you saying like 1 year BTJ's, top 6 and Hunter's top 15, and then the next year they flip flop, or like what do you mean by that? Say it.
Well, I think so in terms of ranking, I don't know because I don't know.
Both top 12 guys.
I think they're going to be so close, but I think 1 year Hunter will outscore BTJ. BTJ could outscore Hunter 2 years in a row, but they could be like neck and neck. I think that Hunter's that good. I don't think Hunter's regulated to the T. Higgins pecking order of the wide receiver room. I think it is going to be as if the team has two Drake Londons. They could go at 12 and 14 overall in fantasy drafts, 13 and 14, 11 and 15. And there could be years where they're going back to back, every single year together. That's how much. Drop the Hunter emoji. There's a lot of people that aren't going to like this take that don't even believe in him to begin with. So you're going to see a lot of negativity around it, especially in the comments later. Some rewatching Roger is going to be in there going, did he just say BTJ? I wish I could play in this guy's fantasy league. I can't believe I mean, I'm watching his show, but I can't believe this guy. He's so bad, but I'm gonna still watch.
So the reason I agree with you is because we look at, I think BTJ and Travis Hunter might be the two most talented duos at wide receiver. And when you look at the other great duos, like just to name a few, Jamar Chase is clearly better than Higgins. Then you have Justin Jefferson clearly better than Addison. AJB and Devontae Smith, they're very different types of wide receivers. AJB is a pure alpha guy. And so then you have BTJ and Hunter, and they're both just...
Damn it! Damn it!
So
timed out on Godwin.
What happened?
Hold on. I timed out on Godwin.
I think when the year goes and Travis Hunter's having a killer year, I think if Gump tries to come in and talk great about Travis Hunter, he lost his card. He lost his Travis Hunter card.
He doesn't get it. He didn't lose it. He never gets it. He doesn't get Travis Hunter. He already ruined that. I just timed out on freaking Godwin. Damn it. I'm going to go Milroe. I'm banking on Milroe. I don't care what anybody says. Milroe's taking that job from Sam Darnold. If it's not week 1, I love how that reporter, I think it was a reporter or beat writer, asked, so is Sam Darnold going to start? And the coach got so mad. He's like, that's a ridiculous question. You know what I would say? I would say, excuse me, what's ridiculous about it? I mean, you drafted the next Jalen Hurts. Don't you know that? Do you know that you have the next Jalen Hurts on the bench? And you aren't seriously thinking about starting Jimmy Garoppolo, which is what Sam Darnold is, over Jalen Milroe, are you? That's what I would have said. I would have put that sucker on record.
Sam Darnold to Garoppolo, really?
Well, I think that he is in some ways.
Bad.
I think he is in some ways a quarterback that I think Sam Darnold's okay. I think he could survive in this league like Jimmy Garoppolo was one of the last starting caliber quarterbacks out of 32 quarterbacks. I think Darnold's that kind of quarterback. That's still one of the top 32 in the world. You know, but we're talking about, I think there's a handful of backups that are better than Sam Darnold that are on teams like Jalen Milroe and Shedeur and all that. But yeah, I don't see him fending off Jalen Milroe hype, because let me tell you something. Jalen Milroe being the next Jalen Hurts, in my view, the Seattle Seahawks fans love him. The Seattle Seahawks fans think he's the next coming of Jalen Hurts. They know. They listen to this show, I'm sure of it, because they say the same thing I say over and over and over. He has got the capability of being that good, and he's so composed. He's so smooth. He reminds me of Jalen Hurts in a lot of ways in that he's very commanding. And this is not AR5, where AR5 feels, how do I say this without it being insulting? AR5 is not
undeveloped.
But not necessarily even the sharpest tool in the shed, you know? I think he reminds me a lot of
physical.
Yeah, but physical
tools
and emotional, you know, and intelligence, quarterback intelligence, if you want to go there. But I think, you know, in the case of, where are we at here? Are we timed out here or not? In the case of Milroe, I think he just, the hype is going to be so big. This shadow that Milroe is going to cast with the way the fan base is chanting for it, the first sign of, you know, disarray, it's going to be over. They're going to have to put Milroe in at some point. And he's gonna have nothing. His back is not, you know, it's against the wall. There's nothing looking over his shoulder.
I think the thing with Darnold is like, and you've heard it. You watch him in shorts or just throwing on the field. He looks great, you know, technically, and he throws a great ball, and he has to be in a perfect spot, which O'Connell created that for him last year. But you know, if this Seattle line isn't very good like it was last year, and he starts the whole seeing ghost thing, and then you get Milroe, you know, in the preseason, you know, just falling out for a couple games in the preseason, or he comes in and makes a couple plays in a certain package, you know, week 1 or 2, the pressure's going to start to build right away. So that thing could unravel fast.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he unraveled last year in the playoffs.
I mean, bad.
Really fast.
Bad. You remember they picked him up on their shoulders and they were chanting, and it was like, this guy's getting an extension, you know. And then within 1, you know, 2 games, they didn't even want him back on the team.
Yeah, he fell to pieces.
You know, that's kind of crazy when you think about it.
I mean, he had a great year last year too. Like, you look at his numbers and you look at the games, but you see once that bubble bursts around him, yeah, it's got to be perfect.
I took a little gamble here, hoping I don't punch my desk in T-minus 5 seconds. Charbonnet was the highest ranked player on the board, and I wanted him. Thank God. Okay, so Shedeur is still there. I took Shedeur. I got Milroe, Shedeur, and Aaron Rodgers as my 3 QBs, rotating at QB2. That's pretty good. That should serve me pretty well. That should serve me pretty well. I timed out on Godwin. I didn't want Godwin, damn it. But that's okay. Godwin, DK, you know, that's not bad. That's not half bad. I'll send my roster to my screen here, and you guys can tell me what you think, and we can look at it in a little bit easier to see fashion here. Here's the squad so far. Patrick Mahomes, this is Superflex. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Milroe, and Shedeur Sanders. I could take Will Howard later as well to really protect the Aaron Rodgers spot. Bucky, Hampton, Harvey, Sharps, CeeDee Lamb, DK, Godwin, and McBride. It's pretty good.
If what QBs do you think Cleveland opens the season with? Do you think they just keep 3?
Well, they just signed Gabriel to it. The guy's the worst quarterback. I don't know what Cleveland's thinking. Well, they're not. That's the point. That's what scares me about Shedeur is even if Shedeur earns it, they won't give it to him. I don't know. Maybe they will.
I think
better.
Unless Flacco looks bad and old and just done, I think Pickett probably gets the boot. Keep Gabriel and Shedeur and Flacco.
Yeah, I mean they got to because Gabriel's practically free and he's on a contract and they just sign him to it. Yeah, it's most likely going to be the case where it's going to be Pickett will get the boot. They'll do it. They'll organize him in terms of hand size, and the smallest hands goes.
Screwed that.
He's done. Those little 8-inch hands are gone.
I mean, just the way they put those pictures up was such an insult. Like,
oh yeah, when you had the photo where one hand was like who was it that was in the graphic with him? It was Flacco.
Yeah, and Flacco has like the biggest hands in the NFL too.
Yeah, so Flacco's like what 6'5" or whatever. So Flacco's hands were like this on the ball. And then Pickens was like it looked like this. It looked like
they had it like zoomed out too, like different perspectives, so it looked even smaller for him. And it was just brutal. It's like, what are you doing to the poor guy?
I know. Come on, man. You use the same photo techniques they used when they took that picture of Hampton shaking hands with Harbaugh, and Hampton was like,
Hampton, the human giant.
People were so dumb on that. They didn't even understand what was going on.
You would have had to been 7 feet tall.
I know. There were people that actually reported that was a real photo or that was a real angle. It was trickery. It wasn't even Photoshop. It ended up being just angles. But
right.
But Harbaugh's taller than Hampton. Harbaugh's big, like obviously Hampton's bigger, like wider, but Harbaugh's still a big guy, and Harbaugh is tall. Hampton's right here on Harbaugh. So that photo was crazy, and the fact that people believed it was insane. That it wasn't little trickery going on. Okay, I'm on the clock here. Hold on.
Derrick Henry.
All right, hold on a second, boys. Let me draft. Kind of feel like I need to go. I can't leave Garendo. I love Garendo. I can't leave him out there. Wide receiver, I'm going to go Jack Besh after this, I think, if he doesn't get taken. I like Besh a lot. I don't know who's in this draft. Might get sniped. If not, I'll go Hollywood. Garendo, my boy. I don't know if this guy's...
Hollywood's interesting this year because it was, what was it, like shoulder blade or collarbone, right?
Who?
It's not like he had knee injury. Hollywood Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know he's down the depth chart a bit, but he's going to play a good role on that team.
So the team so far in the far right, the 11th spot, second to last row, Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, Bucky, Trey McBride, Hampton, RJ Harvey, DK Metcalf, my Superflex QB. It's scary, but it's fun. Aaron Rodgers, Chris Godwin, I timed out on. Jalen Milroe and Aaron Rodgers. Zach Charbonnet, Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe, and Aaron Rodgers are now my Superflex quarterback. And then Isaac Grendo, Jack Besh. It's getting a little thin here in the round 14 territory. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. I like it. Like it a lot. Like it a lot.
Like it a lot.
All right, boys, I'm probably going to let you go. I don't even know if I'll finish the whole draft on the stream because this is the second draft. And I don't know, I might. I always say that, and then I do. But anything else? Blue 32? Anything else, Ron?
Yeah.
No, not much. Travis hit me up on what we were talking about earlier on Instagram.
All right.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with him.
All right. Travis, anything else?
Yeah, just quick. I saw earlier Roger. He made a trade. What was it? I was curious your take. He traded Gibbs for Chase Brown and Travis Hunter. What do you think of that?
Gibbs for Chase Brown and Travis Hunter. Yeah, give me that all day. I'd trade Gibbs for Chase Brown. I'm sorry, I was thinking Jamar. I was thinking Jamar Chase. It's late. Gibbs for Chase Brown and Travis Hunter. As much as I love Hunter, I'm taking Jamar Chase. I thought you said Chase Brown or Jamar Chase for some reason. I'm taking Jamar Chase. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Gibbs. I'm confusing myself again. Gibbs over Chase Brown and Travis Hunter. Give me Gibbs. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm tired.
Last one I saw a couple people in the chat talking about Bash versus Kyle Williams.
Who?
I like Kyle Williams.
Who?
Sorry. Jack Bash.
Oh, yeah. I'm taking Kyle Williams over Jack Bash all day, but I love both of them.
Yeah, I like them both. I just think Williams is going to get a ton of targets this year.
I think they both get a ton of targets because they're both in opportunity spots. And the thing is the Raiders don't have a number one wide receiver. It's wide open. And
they
I like them
Myers and Bowers, right?
Yeah, but Myers hasn't done anything yet, and he has a chance to take that spot. I mean,
80 catch guy.
So
70, 80 catch guy.
Hey, what are the odds that Kirk Cousins gets a job, and isn't just regulated as the backup in Atlanta? It's so hard. I mean, you got to have Aaron Rodgers not returned, and then if not, New Orleans is set on shook right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, but that's early.
Yeah, but I don't know where he could go.
He might not get an opening day start, but once the team starts failing and they're looking for the quarterback, that's when he's going to step in and
maybe
get a job.
Indy wouldn't bring him in, right? Indy bring him in.
Indy,
maybe if AR5.
I mean, they like Danny Dimes.
I give it a 95% chance Cousins is a starter in some team before the end of the year.
That's a high percentage, Ron.
Before mid-season.
I think 75%. He goes to another team.
He might. All right, hold on. I'm on the clock. Let me just pick. I like Michael Wilson a lot this year, and not only that is the eye test. Like, not only because Kyler has said that he's going to have 1,000 yards, and quarterbacks say stuff about their wide receivers all the time, but you watch him, he looks really quick. He looks really smooth and fluid. Michael Wilson might have at least a 906 touchdown season, which would be really good in best ball. That's a great wide receiver to have on the bench. And he's going round. This is Superflex, round 16. But I like Michael Wilson a lot. Yeah. He's usually going around 14 or something like that in one QB.
I've drafted him a lot so far this year.
All right, boys. I'll see you tomorrow. Probably at least 3 shows tomorrow. 1 upload, 1 live stream. The upload will be Dynasty. 1 live stream, and then, okay, hold on. It might be 4 shows. 1 upload, 1 midday live stream, 1 8 p.m. Eastern show, the normal Monday through Friday show, and then a graveyard show. So we might have 4 videos, nice. If not 3 tomorrow. All right. Later, boys.
I enjoyed the WWE SmackDown session tonight. That was fun.
With Gump? Yeah. All right, later, Ron.
That was fun. Later.
Yeah, Gump gets... Someone said that I did a voicemail for me.
Yeah, I got a question about Olave. I just seen your YouTube video, and I was wondering, what is Olave's value in Dynasty? What would you trade him for? Let me know. Thanks.
Well, I don't even know you can trade Olave, bro. I mean, let's see where Olave went in this draft. Olave went at pick number 96. Now, this is a super flex, but we can still find. So, George Pickens, bro. I mean, Travis Hunter goes 1 round above him. and this is not dynasty, but I'm just telling you, like, just throwing names out of guys that, I'm trying to go get. I know their values go up in dynasty, but those are players that I want. Pickens is very attainable using Olave. Even if you're throwing in like a future first rounder to get Travis Hunter, there's a lot of negativity around Hunter right now. So it's probably doable.
No, you're right, Smitty. Birdie sucks.
That's the old voicemail. Denny. Where is Denny? Where is Denny? Thank you for the super chats tonight. Any other super chats, I'll answer immediately. Thank you, Jesse, for the double. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Matt, for your question. Again, Matt, get rid of Ayuk. He's just dead weight, bro. He's not going to be in San Francisco next year. I think he's not. He's going to be traded or probably traded, but they want to get rid of him. They don't want him there. I have that on good authority, my boy. I'm telling you. Let's see here. We probably need to go. What is my running back bye week situation? Hampton, Harvey, same bye week in week 12. Isaac, Rendo, Charbonnet, and Bucky all have different bye weeks, so I'm kind of good there. Quarterback bye weeks, I'm spread out. I'm good. CD Lamb. I got a few bye week 9s, a couple bye week 9s, a couple bye week 8s, a 10 and a 5. I'm looking good there. I do need a backup tight end here. My tight end is McBride week 8. So I need a tight end that doesn't have a bye week in week 8. I'm going to pass on that for now. Let me go running back shopping real quick. Dylan Sampson might be done with the RB room now that I've got Dylan Sampson. I could just use 2 of my last 3 picks on tight ends. And then I've got kind of a free-for-all pick. So I'm going to go tight end here. What did I say McBride's bye week was? Damn it. 8. So we're going to go. I wanted to go Arroyo. He's week 8. Let's go Okonkwo, I guess. Don't love it. Don't love it at all. Don't love it at all. Who's on the clock in our draft, Sick Nasty? In the follower league. We got a follower league draft going on right now. And I think I want to say, Jimmy's on the clock. Jimmy, if you're watching, I'll trade you. I need a pick here. I want to send Jimmy an offer. Here you go, Jimmy. All right, anybody have a final question? Dial in, and otherwise we're out of here. Jimmy's on the clock right now at 2.9. Jimmy, I sent you an offer. If you're watching, pal, go take a look at it. Go take a gander at it. All right, Gump, this is your final speech. Go ahead.
Well, you knew that Frank the Tank retired, right?
Uh-huh.
The Lions?
Yep.
And when you heard that, did you think that you're going to win the bet between Bo Nix and Jared Goff?
Yes.
No, it's not happening. I sent you something over there, and what is that one thing I sent to you?
You know the thing? You know the guy? You know the thing?
No, I sent you an Instagram. I sent you.
Oh, thank you. You sent me this. Thank you.
Because I knew you were thinking that, but I just wanted to pop your bubble. All right.
I don't want you popping anything.
Well,
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Gump, but I didn't base any of my Bo Nix over Goff predictions on anything of the sort.
Why did you grab Goff in the later rounds in those drafts of yours?
I don't want Goff. Haven't you listened to a word I've said? Goff is going to decline. Goff is on the decline. Goff is not going to have. You love Hendon Hooker so much, he might get a shot. He might get a shot at some point. Goff is going to turn back into some sort of a pumpkin. Maybe he still plays decent because he's got a lot of weapons. But I don't know. How is Morton just going to come in and make things better or keep them the same? How? How do you replace Ben Johnson with Morton? I'm not saying Morton's garbage. We don't know what he's going to be. We don't. You could say, oh, look at Denver.
Ben
He's up there
Weasel
with
lost
Joe.
the playoff game last year.
He was over with
Come
Nick,
on,
Smitty. I know you're going to tell me that.
He lost. That was a double doink call that he did with J-Mo.
Stop.
Double doink.
Stop talking about.
Doink.
Hey,
Ben
stop
Weasel
talking
call.
about one call, Gump. Stop talking about one call. Ben Johnson was good for your offense. Ben Johnson was good for your offense.
Jared,
what are you going to do without Ben Johnson? You're going to run the ball. You're going to run the ball. Gibbs to the moon. Laporta, safety net for Goff, who's not going to be accurate. Laporta, boom,
he
boom,
is
boom.
going to be
Laporta.
tossing that ball all over the place. And you're sitting there taking Aaron Rodgers over Goff?
I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers over Goff. You don't even know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Well, it just seems like you got...
No, I'm in a Superflex draft where all the quarterbacks are gone, Gump. Goff went...
On some of these drafts that you do, you need to take Goff a few times and get him in the right spot.
Okay, Gump, appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow, pal. Call back in.
Hey, look,
I'm not doing that over and over. It's all he says. It's always Detroit Lions. You got to take Goff. You got to take Goff. You got to take Jameson Williams. You got to take more Jameson Williams. You got to take more Goff. It's enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I can really go anything here. What quarterbacks are there? Joe Milton's interesting. Will Howard or Joe Milton? Will Howard's smarter. I want Joe Milton, though. Will Howard's going to be the pick. Just because I have Aaron Rodgers, it really is a smart pairing. Gump. Not my favorite team, to be honest. I love the team prior to this, but this team, it's okay. A lot of people say, Smitty, you always love your team. You always love your team. I don't always love my team. I think this team's good. I think we win a little bit brute force running back, wide receiver, tight end while we let the quarterbacks fly off the board. Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers with Howard, Milroe, Shador. It could get by. It might be actually crafty. And it's optimal scoring, so your scoring gets, set for you. Then the RBs we got, so Superflex. And no, Goff was not available when Aaron Rodgers went at pick 86. Okay, just so you know. Gump doesn't know what he's talking about. Bucky, Hampton, Harvey, Sharps, Garendo, Dylan Sampson, CeeDee Lamb, DK, Chris Godwin, Jack Besh, McMillan, Wilson, and McBride, Okonkwo, and Harold Fanning. It's a pretty good team. I don't hate this team. It's not my favorite, but I like it. It's got some upside. I mean, if the quarterback room lands, if Shador's and Milroe get in there or something, it could be a pretty good team. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Wide receivers, we started to talk about wide receivers a lot today, especially top 5 wide receivers: Jamar Chase, JJ, Lamb. Neighbors. My order is Chase, Lamb, JJ, Neighbors. That's my top 4. That's how I'm drafting them. And if you're in best ball, again, sum total of what we said at the beginning of the show is that I typically like to go wide receiver early. You got to go best player available, but through hundreds and hundreds of drafts, I can tell you that about 80-90% chance if you go wide receiver, one of Chase, JJ, Lamb, or Neighbors, you're going to be really well off in the second and third round at RB. Bucky, Achane. If you don't get one of those guys, at least get Kyron to go with a Garrett Wilson, or Kyron to go with a McBride, or worst case scenario, Breece Hall could be your running back in round 3, and you go Lamb and then a wide receiver or quarterback or whatever in the third round, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Wide receiver early is a great approach. In non-best ball, pretty fun to go RB early if you believe the wide receivers will fall like they won't in best ball. So you have to know your league. When people say know your league, they don't just mean scoring. They mean the tendencies of the drafting trends so that you can make sure you're not drafting against traffic is really good, but it also, you got to be careful not to let the positions dry out because you're going the wrong way. So it's a healthy balance of drafting against traffic. I will see you all later. BTJ to the moon.
He's BTJ. What you gonna do? He's BTJ. He's gonna put it on you. He's BTJ. Gonna have a good game. He's BTJ. Your mama screams his name.
And then on top of that, it's Travis Hunter season. He's been a supernova for months now.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas.
Andy.
They are
Thomas
the
Jr.
8 supernovas.
Lamb Choppy. Travis Hunter.
The hateful 8
Harvey.
I'm looking at the 8 supernovas. The magnificent 8.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Additionally, live whenever big news breaks. Additionally, live midnight Easterns. And don't forget to get on over if you want to draft with us. Underdog promo code Smitty. Anybody that missed out, just dropped their playoff basketball promo with the extender. It's called the extender, baby. The extender. You can play your way
swap
into
that out.
increasingly.
I keep hitting that damn scene. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay.
Yeah, so make sure you guys are fully ready. Let me see. There we go. I think I fixed it. You guys are fully ready to go for the next draft. Underdog promo code Smitty. The link I'm going to drop in the live chat. The link has been pinned in the live chat the entire night. If you want to draft with us next time, make sure you're hitting code Smitty. This link inserts code Smitty for you. They'll match your first deposit 50%. All the way up to $1,000, and they'll give it to you in bonus credit in your account. So if you deposit $2,000, they'll give you $1,000 in bonus credit. If you do $500, they'll give you $250. If you do the minimum $10, they'll give you $5, and then you'll have $15 to use toward drafts, and you get a free pick in your account. Make sure you get on over to Underdog. See you all tomorrow. We'll be live at least twice, maybe 3 times. We'll have one upload, probably be a dynasty show. See you all tomorrow.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.